Hey, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good and feeling good. Today, I'd like to talk about addiction and, yeah, the ways that it happens and some ways to get out of it and to get your life back and to live a normal, enjoyable life. And even more so than even before you started, because it's very possible, and I'm proof to yeah, to prove it. Because I had been an addict back about 10 years ago. Oh no, about 8 years ago, before I moved to China and Hong Kong. And I started doing drugs when I was 16, and yes, till about 25. And I started just smoking weed in school, and then I wound up doing worse in school. I wasn't doing that great, and just lost motivation. And also, I moved away at that time with a girlfriend to Miami. And actually, before that happened, also I got prescribed Adderall in school, which I think is not necessary. But anyways, I was prescribed that, started taking that, got the kick off of that, and liked it, and smoking weed and taking ecstasy sometimes. I was doing that once in a while, and I was doing it actually back to back. I started doing that and found out really fast you can't do that, and started looking like a crackhead. And I actually got pictures of myself back then. I'll probably post one up one of these days. But yeah, I was looking sick. Um, yeah, so I moved away, came back, went back to school. Just it was still hard, and then I was still doing drugs. I was doing more at that time, and dropped out again. Went to night school maybe like a year later, and in that time, well, around that time, I was drinking, doing that stuff, taking whatever pills here and there, and started taking painkillers. Doctors prescribed it really easily back then, and also everybody, a lot of people had them, a lot of families had them, and I started doing that. And then as the years went on, started doing pretty much everything. Started smoking meth sometimes, and sniffing meth in the clubs, sniffing K, taking E-pills all at the same time, take E-pill, sniff K throughout the night, sniff the Tina, the meth, and then take some painkillers at the end of the night and the next morning to come down from it. And I was doing all these things, and that was one of the times where I felt like I was was close to dying. Was that time when I was doing all that stuff at the club. I did a bunch of stuff, but the painkillers after, like, I was feeling shot. I was still drinking beers like 7 in the morning. And I do this stuff all the time, and yeah, I just started doing more and more, and not knowing, everything creeps up on you. Start doing it, as just something to have fun, and you just do it one time with your friends, whatever, and then you want to do it again. You have a great time, and then all of a sudden you don't feel good without it. You start feeling, after the half-life of whatever it is wears off, you start to feel really just terrible. Life becomes super dull. You have no, um, you can't express, you can't feel any of the emotions you usually do, any of the things that usually satisfy us, day to day. We lose those things through the drugs, through consistently using them. And yeah, those other things, a lot of stuff, smoking crack once in a while. Didn't do it all that many times, but all that stuff, taking what's called Xanax, Klonopin, sleeping pills. There's so many different things. I was doing everything, um, and yeah, it just crept up on me. But the main thing was the painkillers. The painkillers was the biggest thing that I had a problem with. And later on, like years later, wound up having a seizure from it, overdosed on them because I got prescribed a bunch of low dose painkillers, muscle relaxers, and I drank one beer with it. And then later on, I was getting a massage from my girlfriend, and then wound up ODing. Just woke up, and the ambulance was there, the cops were there, and yeah, all this stuff just crept up, and I swore from that moment on, I wasn't going to do it again. And I actually did wind up doing it again. Just went back, continued 3 days after that. And the thing about me was I couldn't go to the bathroom on them, so I was kind of lucky in that sense with the painkillers, because I'd take them for a couple days. Sometimes I'd take them for 5 days, whatever, if I, you know. But a lot of times I'd just take them for 2 days and then I'd, stop so I'd go to the bathroom a day or two and then go back. And, but most people will take them every day and just keeps getting more and more and more and more. But I was lucky to be like that. And, yeah, I was doing that stuff and taking steroids for maybe 5 years on and off. And all these things, just accumulated from doing it, just saying, fuck it, whatever, just what's the big deal, And, yeah, they just took me away, and just turned my life into like a hell. It was, just more and more, took away my morals, slowly, but not bad. I was always a good person. Everybody knows me as being a good person, but for myself, I would slip up when I was too fucked up or something, something like that. And, you would think that, after almost dying with these drugs, you'd stop doing them. But that's not the case, because I have friends, after I stopped all this, moved away, a lot of my friends became heroin addicts, in and out of rehabs, and, OD, and we'll start back up again, just keep going. I even have friends, families that are like, you would think that, that it would stop that, but it doesn't. It's so freaking powerful, and I understand, it's so hard, and it's not a choice. It's not a choice anymore after a certain point, because you just can't live a normal life. Like, maybe you'll be motivated as hell so many times, hey, you're gonna stop smoking, stop doing whatever, and you feel so motivated, and then it could be the next day or a couple hours later, totally forget everything, and life will be hell. You have so many doubts. And what I used to remember is one of the things was conspiracy theories things, and I'd think, life's gonna, the world's going to hell anyways, and, I might as well just, keep doing whatever. And that wasn't right. That was, just lies. Like, a lot of the things are just lies, and they're repetitive, and they keep us in it. Doubts just keep coming in and keep us using. And I just want to explain to everybody that there is hope, and I'm proof of it. And I was lucky enough to, I had a bunch of stuff going on. I had been arrested a bunch of times. I had some things. I had one case expunged, and then I had another case pending, and then I wound up getting another one, and I was almost certain I was going to jail. So, yeah, I was just real depressed, like extra depressed, and I wound up picking up this book that my mom had gave me, like maybe 6 months before or something, called The Secret. And, yeah, I wound up reading it, and it just spoke to me, and gave me hope, and gave me, my dreams back, and just put everything in perspective for me of what I wanted, because all I was thinking about was what I didn't want. And it's really important to have a strong foundation and strong, strong picture, or, idea of what you want, something to drive you forward, because without something, keep falling back, especially people, take care of people, love people, family members, whatever, but that's taken away also by the drug, because you lose your humanity, or just the way we humanly express ourselves, or human emotions, when we're on it, and when we're off. More so, we're still good when we're on it, but when we lose it, when we're off of it, it's so, you can't think of anything, you can't care for anybody, nothing's really meaningful. And yeah, I just wanted to explain that, yeah, if you want to do it, have to start focusing on something we want, and also physical fitness things, and getting our body back to how it needs to be, because that's also a big thing that's also gonna, help us get better, is feeling better. We feel better, and we can, we can do better. We can live throughout the day with more positive feelings. If we feel like shit, our mind's usually gonna go the same way. That's how it is for me, at least. Especially when I'm sore. Like, I didn't understand this for years, but I'd be sore so much. I'd train so hard, and then I'd stop. I just wouldn't train for like a couple days, and then I'd go through this sore process, and I'd be aggravated. I wouldn't really even like feel what was sore, but I'd be aggravated. And what I learned from that is I gotta stretch every day. I gotta move around every day. I gotta get my blood flowing every day. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it all comes from the choice to do it in the moment. There's so many times throughout the day you could just start moving or start stretching. Yeah, we might look a little bit weird or whatever in public, but just do it. Who cares? Just whenever you get the urge, just do it. Just stretch, move around. And if we can do that, and we can build a strong foundation of some things that will keep us afloat and whatever, swear to everything that you will forget the feeling of whatever drug it is, because I did. And my love for painkillers was the strongest ever, and I'd always think, if I could, I'd take them for the rest of my life. And I love it. It's just like I kind of almost hope something bad happened to me so I could just take them, for the rest of my life. And that was something that I actually believed. And after all these years, just slowly, I went back to it sometimes after I fell off, but then I kept realizing, time after time, and finally you get the strength to stay away. And I stayed away, and finally, got better, and never went back to it again, and totally forgot the feeling, and will never do it again. After that time when I stopped that stuff, I'd drink sometimes and smoke weed, of course. And the drinking was one of the worst things for me for relapsing, because for me, when I drink, I'll drink, and then now it's not so much. I do it very, very seldomly. I don't even like it. I do it sometimes, social reasons, which I also don't want to do anymore, really. But I do it, and then sometimes, every time, like in my past, there'll be like a day or 2 days later after it wears off, after the half-life's gone, leaves my body, I'll have this unsatisfied feeling and just unhappiness, for no reason, when usually, since I'm used to being sober now, every day I'll just have this natural happiness and natural, all my feelings and my thoughts will be productive and positive. But, from that, maybe it's from my addiction, I don't know, from my dopamine balance or whatever it is. But I have that, and that, that's a big thing for addicts, because if we use for a long time, whatever it is, and we go back to something, that can be the trigger for us to go back into it, because you go drink or whatever, and then you feel great, okay? You might be good the next day, maybe even the next day, but then once that wears off, feel like hell again. It's just like, it's those patterns of talking ourselves into it just come right back, and just like that, for me, that's what happens so many times. I've seen it with so many friends. A lot of my friends are long-time addicts, and but also I have a bunch of friends that are long-time recovered now off of heroin. And one friend 8 years, one friend 3 years, another friend 3 or 4 years. And all these guys are proof of how you can get better and how you can live a beautiful life again, and be back with family, and be back with everything, and build relationships up again, and all the things that you probably don't even remember now. And just a beautiful life will come about once you commit and you stick to it. And that's when the journey begins, once you commit to it, and just little by little you're going to see improvements. Like, you just got to hang in there, that, and just keep doing it. And things like that, like kung fu or whatever it is you're into, but immerse yourself in that. Make sure you set a plan to go. Also meetings, of course. We have to go to meetings, or at least talk to somebody, commit to something to where it's especially at the beginning, you have to have that support, and also people that are knowledgeable in it, and really have dealt with it. But yeah, any of my friends would be happy to prove it to you and talk to you about it and their experiences and their experience getting sober and how much their lives just blossomed after it. And same thing with me. My life's just been getting better and better and better and better. But even for years, like I lost a lot of confidence when I stopped, and so many little things that I had before I started the drugs. And part of the time I was on the drugs, I had this personality and this energy about me. But then when it's all gone, it's just, for me, I had to build it up again, and it was hard for me. And I didn't really always put myself in something like that. I was striving to do movies and stuff, and there was this this feeling of not making it to where I wanted to and the time I wanted to, and it was really slow and a lot of disappointment. And but everything, as I stayed consistent, I felt like I was blessed more and more as I stayed sober through the years. And I really believe that I keep being blessed for what I'm doing for myself, what I'm doing for my family, because we all know how much it hurts our family and loved ones around us, even more than us. We can we can do it for ourselves, but really even more important is the people around us. Well, it's just as important, but the people around us, we hurt them so much through this, so much pain, always thinking, wondering if we're going to die, and always just hurting everybody. And we can be forgiven, and we will be forgiven, and we will work it out, and you're going to feel this sense of victory, over this thing. And you're gonna use it to your advantage for the rest of your life and help. How many addicts are there in America? There's so many, so freaking many. And we all know how, it happens, and all things, how, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I just want to let you know that. And one of my buddies, my Kung Fu brother Richie, he just explained something to me recently, not too long ago. I never really, I always taught throughout the years, taught Kung Fu, taught English when I was in China, but I never wanted to really teach Kung Fu. I didn't really enjoy it, and I kind of don't, but I do if it's helping somebody. If it's just for somebody, somebody paying me money, or parents paying me money, it's not really satisfying to me. But if it's really helping somebody like you, somebody, whoever that really wants it and makes a difference in their heart and their life, then it is rewarding to me, and then I'd love to. So if anybody ever wants to learn, yeah, reach out to me, and I'll help you, with your journey or whatever. And also, yeah, my buddy Richie he had a good idea to open up like our school was so tranquil back in the day in Flushing, our Shaolin Temple. It was just like such a peaceful place, and we were both doing a little bit bad before that. We went there, and then that just made us so much more positive. And then I stopped doing it 17, and I was doing the drugs. I stopped for like 5-6 years, pumping steroids, lifting and stuff. I'd do some stuff. But yeah, we needed that place, and he made me realize that. And he said, he really wants me to, but we really both should, or whoever out there wants to do something like this, open up a place where it's all, all healing, everything, Kung Fu, have addicts welcome there, and teaching there, and, everybody just come together and just try to heal each other in all different ways. I have a friend that just sent me something, sound healing thing, and just all types of stuff, yoga, just everything to do with feeling good in life and taking care of our soul, spirit, and us as people, and help us to grow, all of us to grow. And yeah, I would love to do that. And a friend Christopher just mentioned something in my comment the other day, which reminded me of what Richie said. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Since I've been putting these videos out, I've been getting answers and about what to do and some ideas, and we're all doing this together and just making the world beautiful again, and even more beautiful. I don't mean beautiful again, but Alright guys, take care. It's almost 10 minutes up, so it'll be 2 videos. Thanks guys, love you.